But growth comes from leverage. Growth comes from finding the people to do the things that you're not good at, to do the things that are holding you back. And I've been espousing this quote lately. I saw Layla Hormozi when I was at Traffic and Conversion, but she said on stage, if someone could come in and do everything that you do and your business would still do the same or even better, if you had to do nothing and the business would grow the same, why are you necessary? Hey there, and welcome to the Bringing Business to Retail podcast. If you're looking to get more sales, more customers, master your marketing, and ultimately take control of your retail or e-commerce business, then you're in the right place. I'm Selena Knight, a retail growth strategist and multi-award-winning store owner whose superpower is uncovering exactly what your business requires to move to the next level. I'll provide you with the strategies, the tools, and the insight you need to scale your store. All you need to do is take action. Ready to get started? So I binged watched 2 seasons of Ted Lasso on the weekend, and it got me thinking, I am not into sports in any way, shape or form. I don't mind playing sports here and there, but I generally don't know the rules of a lot of sports, and I certainly don't watch sport on TV. So, I mean, it's a fun show. If you've seen it, you know, it's not really about the sport. In fact, I think it's soccer, right? I don't even know what sport they're playing. I'm pretty sure it's soccer because they make a joke about the fact that it's football, and in the UK, they call that soccer. Anyway, I digress. I was watching the show, and it occurred to me that as a coach in sport, you take a very different role than what we would consider a business coach would be, or, you know, even like a life coach or anything like that. So in today's episode, I want to talk about not coaching per se, but stepping up into a leadership role in your business. If you are new to the podcast, welcome to the Bringing Business to Retail podcast. I'm Selena Knight. I'm a retail growth strategist, and I am here to help you take your business, retail or e-commerce, and if it's feeling like a job, I'm here to help you take that to a business that works for you and help you step up and be the CEO. So I got thinking, what if business was like a game? What if we treated business like a game of sport and you were the coach? And remember, I don't mean business coach. I mean a coach like a coach is in sport. Now, the difference is, and this is my experience, maybe this has not been your experience, but this is my experience because I've worked with a lot of business coaches, in air quotes, if you're not watching the video. And they're not strategists. The coach helps you to work out what path you're going to take. And look, Ted Lasso does do that. He does kind of throw some comments, obscure comments, and he gets the team thinking, especially in their personal lives. But mostly what he does is strategy. And that whole concept of, I don't understand why there are multiple coaches in soccer. Like you've got Ted Lasso, you've got coach, whatever the coach's guy's name is. I don't understand that concept. So please, if you are listening and you're like, she does not know what she is talking about, I do not profess to know anything about sport. But what I do know is when coach sits there and works out the game on the whiteboard, that is all strategy. And what I have found in the past is that business coaches don't give you strategy. And that's why I never call myself a business coach, because I'm not necessarily very good. I mean, I can do it sometimes, but I'm not very good at trying to ask you the questions to help you discover the answer yourself, if that makes sense. That's not me. What I am really good at is fixing things. I am a strategist. I can see, literally, if you talk to me about your business, in my head, it maps out You're here. You should be here right now. These are the things that are stopping you. This is what you need to do right now. And in these steps, if you want to get to that point, that is my superpower. And the touchy-feely stuff, not my superpower. It got me thinking, what if you treated business like a game and you were the coach, the strategic coach? Because where is all this coming from? Well, what I have found is when you get past that daily grind, that constant struggle, and I'm lucky to be there in my business right now. And do you know what? It's not always a comfortable place to be when you are not required to be there every single day because you think that is what you're building this business to be. But when it happens, it can feel like you're a little bit adrift. You have to find things to keep you busy. That's another podcast. But when you get past that grind, that struggle, when you're no longer constantly worried about whether there's going to be enough money or how many hours you have to work or whether you have to come back tonight and answer DMs, you get to hit what I call a reset button. And what happens when you hit that reset button is that you end up having fun in business again. Yes, because you're not weighed down by all the things. You get to focus on the stuff that you enjoy. Remember when you first started out and all the challenges that you came across, they were exciting? Well, you get to do that all over again, but just at a different level and without necessarily the hard slog, because you already know, like I hopefully you already know, I don't have to tell you this, but working more hours does not mean you will make more money. In fact, quite often it's the inverse. The more you work, the less you make because you're too tired. You're not focusing on the right things. You're doing stuff for the sake of doing things rather than doing the things that move the needle forward. And so that's why I'm kind of putting it out there. If you think of business like a game, and if you get to the point where you can be strategic about your business because you aren't bogged down in the daily grind, then you come out the other side. And that's where a lot of exponential growth happens when you grow as the CEO. And I will say just here, though, that when you're growing, it is easy for you to want to bring on more people who are like you because you are the driving force. Generally, you are the driving force of the business. So you want another driving force. But growth comes from leverage. Growth comes from finding the people to do the things that you're not good at, to do the things that are holding you back. And I've been espousing this quote lately. I saw Layla Hormozi when I was at Traffic and Conversion at the end of this year. What was that, August? And I wrote this down and I've been saying it a lot because it drives home the epitome of what you are striving to achieve. But she said on stage, if someone could come in and do everything that you do and your business would still do the same or even better, if you had to do nothing and the business would grow the same, why are you necessary? And the answer is you aren't necessary. That is your goal. You need to get the business to the point where you aren't necessary. I'm not necessary. Your job is to find the people who make sure that you will no longer be necessary, because when you are no longer necessary to the business, your business experiences exponential growth and you end up multiplying the value of the business by anything up to 4 to 10x. Because someone can come in and take your business, they can buy your business, and it doesn't rely on you being there. When a business relies on you being the driving force, you knowing everything, you being the center, the central pivot point, that is actually when your value is worth the least amount of money. Something to think about. So going back to my very bad sports Ted Lasso comparison, think about a team, any sports team. They don't have a dozen people who do the exact same thing. Everybody is part of the strategic cog. Everybody has their place to make the team better. The whole is worth more than the parts. And when you put those together, that is when a team wins. If you had one guy with a football running up and down the field, he would get tired. He would not have anybody else to throw the ball back. He'd get tackled and that would be it. Business is like that. Business is like a game. You need the people to get you there. You need to step up and be the CEO. You need to get to the point where you are no longer necessary. And that, my friends, is freaking uncomfortable. But what it does is open so many doors for you and your business and your life and your family. So I want you to have a bit of a think about that. What can you do right now to move towards that step of being the CEO and then the next step of getting your business to the point where you are not necessary? All right. I would love it if you could DM me on social media, comment on one of my posts and let me know what is something that you're going to take. And feel free to duck in and tell me that my sports analogies were terrible, because I'm okay with that. All right. I hope you found this episode helpful. And let's be honest, I don't run any ads on here. I don't take any money to build this podcast because I am passionate about giving you guys the strategies that you need to grow. So do me a favor, share it, tag me, leave a review, leave a comment, because it's really great to know that people are listening to what I have to say. All right. Thanks so much. And I'll see you on the next episode. So that's a wrap. I'd love to hear what insight you've gotten from this episode and how you're going to put it into action. If you're a social kind of person, follow me at TheSelena and make sure to leave a comment and let me know. And if this episode made you think a little bit differently, or gave you some inspiration, or perhaps gave you the kick that you needed to take action, then please take a couple of minutes to leave me a review on your platform of choice. Because the more reviews the show gets, the more independent retail and e-commerce stores just like yours that we can help to scale. And when that happens, it's a win for you, a win for your community, and a win for your customers. I'll see you on the next episode.